The contribution of the French railways to the victory became not only a key element in shaping the identity of French Seminoles, but also greatly contributed to the imagery of the Great War in the French collective imagination. The images of rail workers sent in trains under German bombardment, heartbreaking photos of destroyed rail stations, and the stories of rail workers who sacrificed their lives became intertwined into the national memory of the Great War. Many memoirs about the Great War sharply contrast the mood of the crowd during the first days of the war, or with the general spirit of the population several weeks after its beginning. In August 1914, many French train stations looked alike. The youth of 1914, including many volunteers, were rushing to the front. Many sang Marseillaise and waved their capes. Several weeks later, sanitary trains brought back wounded soldiers. Many of them would remain crippled until the rest of their lives. The 1930 anti-war movie All Quiet on the Western Front, a screen version of Eric Maria Remarque novel, juxtaposed the contrast, the image of the train carrying enthusiastic signing volunteers and taking them to battlefields during the first day of mobilization, with the image of another train returning mutilated, disabled soldiers who, on crutches and leaning on each other, were hardly able to walk to the train station. As Michel Ada shows in his book, the Great War highlighted one of the bitter paradoxes of modernity. The West professed faith in the power of technology and industrial progress to improve the quality of life and to bring prosperity to a growing number of continents. However, during the Great War, the very technology which was the subject of great pride and even the feeling of superiority for the Europeans turned to be a deadly weapon for mass slaughter. The representations of trains in war and interwar French poetry and prose struck by the efforts of French authors to transform trains into the dark symbols of the war. There were strong descriptions for French trains. They were defined as major accomplices in the slaughter of the war and accused of taking the young men, the pride of the nation, only to spit out the disabled bodies to the heart of French cities and to destroy idealism and faith of the young generation. Dark symbolism in the portrayal of French trains shaped the poetry of Jules Romain, the French writer and poet. He transforms the moment of train leaving a train station to a moment of saying goodbye to civilian life, perhaps life itself. In the portrayal of Romain, a railway station is an ambush waiting to take soldiers to the dangerous journey, and a mort may just bring death to the soldiers. By stepping on the train, the soldier was now at the mercy of the universe that appears to want the soldiers to die. Another French poet, François Porche, depicted train as an evil creature that takes the energy, songs, hope, laughter of soldiers, only to leave tears. Porche also depicted crowds seen often cheering passing trains. He portrayed soldiers saluting the people on train platforms and raising their hands to their blue capes. The poet sadly described the youth who was going to drink, using his words, the wine of sacrifice, and pointed out to the fact that many soldiers would never return to their homes. The poet animates the trains. This like creature, the train does not give a slightest idea to its passengers where it is going to take them. Moreover, Porche ends his verse by saying that this is a hatred that unites together trade wagons and the heart of soldiers in this final voyage to the slaughter. The Belgian poet Emile Verhaeren, who wrote in French and published his work in France, created an almost apocalyptic image of trains, which had made Europe to disappear. Trains carried, using his word, the pieces of their countries, soldiers and the weapons of mass destruction, lead, steel and shells. The war itself had become a departure of countless trains. Verhaeren believes that Europe became the factory manufacturing death, suffering and dislocation. Trains took the people and resources to the trenches and took people away from their homes and life. Poet Perrin summed up these negative assessments of trains by coining their definition as, using his words, machines for transporting people to death. Trains and train stations, therefore, were turned to the tragic symbols of industrial progress, which went terribly wrong when machines became the machines for killing.